a sign of what the right thought of China. They felt that the whole COVID that originated in China was somehow connected to the Chinese fear of Donald Trump and wanting him out, when in November of 2019, it was almost sure that he was going to be reelected. He was ahead in the polls. He would have been reelected if it had not been for COVID and the lockdown and then the George Floyd riots, which I think in themselves were a result of the lockdown, their intensity. So China realizes that for all the talk about they are ascendant and they are all powerful and they have a bigger military, they still have, I think, and most economists will agree, that they still have only about 70 to 80% of our GDP. They have 4 times the population and have very crude formations. It takes 4 Chinese workers to approximate 70% of what one worker does in the United States. We're a very productive society, and in many areas, for all of the Chinese stealing and copying, we're much more preeminent. And under Trump, I think China will be faced with a lot of things that is going to bother them. They have over 300,000 students come here. Most people think 2 or 3% are actively engaged in espionage. I don't think that's going to continue. I think that they have a lot of asymmetrical tariffs. They know that. I think for everyone, Trump will try to outdo their tariffs. Not a blanket tariff, but a tit for tat. I think he will tell the Chinese, if you go and bully the Taiwanese or the Philippines or any of our more prominent allies, we have ways of retaliating against you, and we will do that. And we wish you wouldn't do that. The thing about it's so strange is that under prior Republican administrators, candidates that believed in the same theory of deterrence as Trump, there was kind of a braggadocio that was different than Trump's. They actually would kind of brag that we wanted to go to war with them or something. Trump talks a great game, but he does not want to destroy relations with China or any of our adversaries. He just wants to remind them that they have overreached and what they're doing is not in their interest, and they will stop it. But he doesn't really want to go to war. And there's no idea of going into Iraq or Afghanistan or bombing Libya like Hillary did to create some type of utopia. He doesn't have any dreams like that. It's all Jacksonian, and he wants to protect the Western world. And when I go to Europe, it's very bizarre, John, to hear people who are going to be beneficiaries of Trump's foreign policy damn him and then praise people who would not lift a finger to help Europe in a crisis, or would, Trump said to the Germans, "You're playing with fire with the Nord Stream pipeline #2, and you're heavily dependent on natural gas, and we better stop that for your own benefit." Biden then said he was a warmonger, or he was alienating our ally, and then they went over. Trump tried to stop the pipeline. Biden came in and green-lighted it, which was, I think, unfortunate. And the same thing, they said Trump suspended armaments. He did not. He everything that the Congress approved, he sent to Ukraine eventually. Biden came in and put another arms embargo on Ukraine. And he said he would only react if it was a major invasion, if Putin went into Ukraine. He asked Zelensky, "Do you want to ride out? We'll fly you out of Kiev the first week." So it's a very strange paradoxical disconnect where people who are beneficiaries of American muscularity attack the person who cares for them or wants to help them, and then praises the multilaterals people who appease and would allow them to be very vulnerable. And yet it's all emotional. They just don't like Donald Trump's visage. They don't like the way he looks. They don't like his accent. They don't like his mannerisms. They don't like his language. So they can't get over that.